Gang, today is the day we've been waiting for some time now. Trump was elected to drain the swamp, and it does appear that with the exoneration of Michael Flynn, the deep state's day of reckoning is at hand. We're going to take a look at the collapse of the case against Michael Flynn and how it's all but a precursor of bombshell revelations that promise to rock Washington, D.C. to its very foundations. You're going to absolutely love it. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Steve here with you. Certainly hope you're all having a safe and sound, lovely Friday. I normally say lockdown Friday, but we have lots of states officially opening up as of today, so it's really exciting to see. If this is your first time with us and you're looking for some daily encouragement and optimism in the midst of all this insane nonsense spewing from our left-wing Marxist media, you found your oasis in this channel. We analyze current events, analyze some super awesome conservative trends so you can live in the present in light of even better things to come. And we certainly help you think better so you can feel better. It doesn't get better than that, right? So if you haven't already done so, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. It'd be an absolute privilege to have you as a regular part of this channel where we together each and every day have the privilege of celebrating the inevitable collapse of left-wing globalism and the unstoppable rise of a new conservative age. Let's start with our video chat question of the day. Do you believe that Trump will bring down the deep state? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget, we have the special investigator John Durham already saying that his investigation has turned into a criminal investigation. So do you believe that President Trump will effectively bring down the deep state? Because with the appointment of Attorney General Barr, it really looks like the corrupt left, the corruption left by the Obama administration is about to meet its day of reckoning. But before we get into it, you know, we all have to deal with the simple fact that we leave behind expenses like funeral costs and the like. I don't know if you know that the average funeral alone is about $8,000 or $9,000. So what that means is that having no insurance when you die, it can leave your loved ones with a huge bill to deal with. And obviously none of us want that. But you can take control of your family's destiny today and have the satisfaction that they will be financially taken care of. So make sure to click on the link below and visit our good friends over at ratefamily.com and get a free quote. No waiting periods, 100% benefits. Even if you've been turned down before, they guarantee coverage for everybody, no matter the situation. Yes, it's true. They guarantee coverage for everybody, no matter the situation. So don't wait. Click on that link below and visit ratefamily.com or simply give them a call at 1-855-919-RATE. You'll be glad that you did. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. Amazing. I mean, we've got some really astonishing developments going on with what appears to be the real collusion that's been happening over the last 3 years between the deep state operatives and the Justice Department and the FBI. So let's walk through all of this step by step and try to wrap our heads around what's really going on here, because I think it's just amazing. Now, if you're Donald Trump, you got to be in the Oval Office just laughing hysterically today, all right, at all the bumbling missteps of the deep state. So let's start with the Michael Flynn exoneration, okay? And in a stunning turn of events, the Justice Department has just announced that they are dropping their case against former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. Now, this is coming in the midst of revelations, really bombshell revelations, that the FBI actually never at any point had a case against Flynn, but went ahead with this prosecution anyway. It reminds me of Pontius Pilate and the trial of Jesus. I mean, I find this man innocent. Now go crucify him. Right? The Pontius Pilate episode is considered the epitome of injustice. And that's precisely what we appear to be seeing playing out with Michael Flynn. Now, just to back up so we're all up to speed here, the retired Lieutenant General Michael Flynn was tapped to be Trump's national security advisor back in 2016. Little did the Trump campaign team realize that they were being spied on by the FBI in an operation called Crossfire Hurricane, which, as many of you know, involved the deliberate attempt by Obama administration officials like FBI Director James Comey and his Deputy Director Andrew McCabe to sabotage the Trump candidacy. If you recall, Comey and McCabe on 4 different occasions obtained FISA warrants to spy on Trump by submitting a fraudulent anti-Trump Russian dossier as grounds for those FISA warrants even though they knew that the document was in fact the work of an opposition research team, which we now know to be Fusion GPS, that was hired and paid for by the Clinton campaign. Now, as part of that Operation Crossfire Hurricane, the FBI started to investigate Michael Flynn and his supposed Russian contacts. After 4 months of investigations, we now know, based on newly unsealed FBI memos, that by January 4th of 2017, so just a few weeks before Trump's inauguration, the FBI had completed their investigation of Flynn, which should never have happened in the first place, by the way, but nevertheless, they admitted to finding, quote, no derogatory information of any kind linking Flynn to Russia. Now, according to the Department of Justice assessment that they released just yesterday, this is precisely where the FBI investigation of Flynn should have stopped. Stop cold, January 4th, 2017. Again, we will not mention that the whole investigation was launched on totally false pretenses with illegal wiretapping to boot. Regardless of that, setting that aside as if we even could do that, there was absolutely no legal basis to continue investigating Flynn once the FBI concluded that there was no evidence whatsoever of any link between Flynn and Russia. That was January 4th of 2017. Now, this is where the now disgraced, rabid left-wing FBI agent Peter Strzok comes into the picture. Strzok was the FBI agent in charge of the sham investigation of Hillary Clinton and her deletion of government emails on her private server, which Strzok from the beginning had no intention of fulfilling in terms of that investigation. Strzok intervened after January 4th and kept the FBI investigation going, largely at the behest of Comey and McCabe. We know this because of the texts that were exchanged between Strzok and his FBI colleague, Lisa Page, with whom he was having an affair at the time. Again, if you recall, Lisa Page testified that there wasn't a shred of evidence to justify the whole Mueller investigation into the Trump campaign and its alleged collusion with Russia. But that didn't matter because this was a deliberate attempt by top-ranking Justice Department and FBI officials to cover up their corrupt exoneration of Hillary Clinton. And so a few weeks later, on January 24th, 2017, so just 4 days after Trump was inaugurated president, 2 FBI agents approached Flynn, who at the time was National Security Advisor to Trump. 2 FBI agents said they wanted to discuss his communications with a Russian ambassador regarding sanctions back in December of 2016. Now, unbeknownst to Flynn, his communications with that Russian ambassador, they were picked up because the FBI wiretapped his phone conversations. Again, as of yesterday, the Justice Department stated in their conclusion to throw out the case against Flynn, there was no need to interview Flynn as to what had been said between him and the ambassador, since the FBI already knew what they said because they recorded the conversation. So this was nothing less than a total setup. It was a trap to try to get Flynn to say something incriminating. New internal FBI documents that were released on Wednesday revealed a recording of a meeting between FBI Director James Comey, the Deputy Director McCabe, and others, where they discussed openly how, in their words, they would get Flynn to lie so they could prosecute him or get him fired. So the whole thing was a total setup, a setup as part of an overall plot to bring down President Trump in order to cover up for their corruption during the Obama years. And so Flynn was subsequently accused of misleading the Trump administration about his communications with the Russian ambassador by the FBI, for which then he resigned from his post. And after the appointment of the special counsel Robert Mueller to investigate the accusations of Russian collusion with the Trump campaign in December 2017, Flynn ended up pleading guilty to making false statements in that FBI interview that he had back in January after President Trump was inaugurated. Flynn was charged with lying to federal investigators about whether he had talked to the Russian ambassador about sanctions that the Obama administration had imposed on Russia for their supposed election meddling. And as a result, Flynn would be facing up to 5 years in prison, federal prison. Now, there are 2 fascinating things that emerge right there. I don't know if you know, but Bob Mueller, Bumbling Bob Mueller, was actually appointed by the Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. Rosenstein, along with Comey, the FBI director, who Trump fired, by the way, and other top officials at the Department of Justice, They were actively strategizing on how to remove Trump from office. You might remember that. Rosenstein admitted that he offered to wear a wire to secretly surveil Trump to get him to incriminate himself in their meetings and conversations. The second thing that's so interesting in all this is that one of those top officials strategizing on how to remove the president was Andrew McCabe, right? He was the FBI deputy director under James Comey, who's the director. He admitted that top officials at the FBI and the Justice Department discussed recruiting cabinet members to push Trump out of office and all the like. Well, according to Flynn's attorneys, McCabe nudged Flynn not to have an attorney present during the questioning that led to his guilty plea. Now, this is where things get really interesting and intriguing. As I understand it, Flynn got a new attorney. Her name's Sidney Powell. And she's the one that did some serious digging and fact-finding. And what she began to uncover was that Flynn was just the tip of the iceberg of this massive conspiracy to undermine and indeed remove a duly elected president. Flynn was just a pawn in all this. So fast forward to January of this year, Flynn officially withdrew his guilty plea for lying to the FBI as he and his attorney recognized that he was set up by corrupt officials in the FBI and Justice Department. A few weeks later, in February, Attorney General Barr appointed a special attorney to review Flynn's case. And just to give you a sense of things, how they were going here, you ready for this? In response to that investigation, the officials who were prosecuting Flynn claimed they lost the records from Flynn's January 2017 FBI interview. Let that hit you. They actually claimed that the records for Flynn's original interview that he was being prosecuted on were misplaced. But to his credit, Attorney General Barr effectively began blowing the roof off of the whole conspiracy. The investigation has turned up this massive conspiracy to undermine the presidency of Donald Trump using all kinds of illegal maneuvers, and Flynn was just used as a pawn in all this. And so, as of yesterday, the Justice Department officially dropped all charges against Michael Flynn. Now they're saying heads are about to roll. Remember, we got John Durham report yet to come out. Attorney General Barr has appointed U.S. Attorney John Durham, who's the real deal, to investigate all of this, the premeditated fraud, the surveillance, the illegal surveillance of the Trump campaign and presidency, the Clinton investigation cover-up, the whole Michael Flynn debacle. And Barr has already issued a statement that he's seen everything he needs to see in order for heads to roll. Indictments are coming. Durham's probe is officially a criminal investigation, and the deep state knows that the time of reckoning appears to be at hand. So we are definitely going to be keeping a very close eye on what's ahead here. But it does appear that, as we said yesterday, the Adam Schiff is hitting the fan. The deep state is about to get a bombshell like it's never gotten before, and I suggest you pop the popcorn and melt the butter, because with Donald J. Trump in the White House, this is gonna be good. Now, before you go, you will definitely want to check out my video yesterday on Adam Schiff going into full panic mode. Documents were just released yesterday that shows that Schiff was indeed lying. He knew there was no evidence for Russian collusion, and the whole Mueller investigation was a complete and total sham. You're going to absolutely love it. So make sure to click on the link, and I will see you over there. God bless.